Hello and welcome. I'm Mercy, the Game Master here at HereThereBeMonsters, and we're back with another Working Wednesday stream. Sorry that took an extra moment there. I announced the stream on Discord and then realized that I had not switched my broadcast software over from Twitch to YouTube. But thank you for being first in chat, Lily. Are we preparing for Saturday? We are, yes. Yes, indeedly. Got a couple things to do today, but first, the format of the show. The goal is to be fairly focused and fairly productive, hopefully. The way we do that is we put 30 minutes on the clock, we take a 5-minute break, and then we put 30 more minutes on the clock, and then we try and get out of here. So we try and pick things that can hopefully be done in approximately that amount of time, and we try and stay focused on doing those things. Hello. Thank you guys for coming by. This is a co-working stream, so even if you aren't necessarily working on D&D things, of course we welcome Dungeon Masters and Game Masters, but if you just need to do the dishes, clean your room, or whatever, settle in, and we'll be here for about an hour. 90 minutes is our cap, but really we try and be closer to an hour. So today, we have the 3 things that I'm hoping to accomplish, and I think this is going to be doable. We need to finish the design of the church courtyard and tailspire for the scene where we left off last time. We need to set up the episode 17 notes, and then we need to work out some details in regards to the fort, which I'll be vague about in case you're not up to date on our sessions. Speaking of which, if you're not up to date on our sessions, you can find them right here on youtube.com/HereThereBeMonsters. We are fully up to date on actually both of our campaigns. And next session is this Saturday. That is the 19th of October. Doing kitty litter? Dang it. You'd review the 3.0 Builder's Guide alongside you during the work stream, but you're stuck cooking. Say la vie. Well, you can shoot me any questions between now and then that you need to. I feel like tailspire mapping first, so let's start with that.
YouTube stream is now live.
Thank you, Lumia. What the heck? Where's my tailspire? There it is. So this is almost done. If you might be thinking like, yeah, that's only 3 things, but that still sounds like a lot. The church courtyard map is almost done. So I really don't think that's going to be a problem today. So thank you to Orar for coming to our build night on Thursday last week. That's why most of this is done. She and I sat down, spent a good couple hours together. She finished up the new version of the church building, and then we got most of the courtyard done. So check this out. The new Church of Bana in Capstone. I think it turned out pretty cool. Hey, Summer and Candy, thank you guys for coming by. I hope you guys are having a decent day. And then, like I said, we got most of the courtyard done. So I just need to put the finishing touches on this, really, is the goal for the first little bit here today. First, 15 to 30 minutes. And I need to collect my thoughts. What was it that we were doing last time, and where did we leave off? We need to finish placing the angel statues as part of it. We did finish with the large pool in the middle, but I might do some revisions there, and then we've got a little bit of detailing to do. I think that's mostly it. I'm happy with how the fountain designs turned out. And the overall layout of the courtyard. I think it's big enough to be garden-y, but it's not absurdly big given the size of the town. Take a look at that angel. You had to sink it into the wall some. Oh, I think that's fine. I don't think anybody will notice. Also, the angel in the corner has a plate over the wing attachments to try and reduce the modernness. Yes, I had been, I'm glad you said that, because I had been kind of having some thoughts, I was like, maybe we can take like a rock or something, find something that matches the color of their stone. I think that's pretty good. It's definitely better than having nothing there. Is, I guess follow-up thoughts. Oh, that's fine. I think that looks just fine. It obviously doesn't really matter if her back is in the wall, but I'm assuming that this one does not have a plate. Only this one does. Okay. And then these were the various things that we were working on. Puppy Snuggles, very nice, Candy. Enjoy. See some of the various things that we were working with. Okay, so the only one, so not even the example out here, the only one that currently has a plate is this one. That's the one that I want to copy. Now, do I think it's going to be more of a pain in the butt to just grab and place the plate on each of them, or more of a pain in the butt to repaste each angel? I'm thinking probably repasting each angel is going to be more difficult. I thought when you had them picked up, then it would automatically go to like copy or whatever. That's unfortunate. Nope. There we go. I am so glad that this has an eyedropper. It's such a necessary thing that could have not been there. Double click the painting. Were you trying to help me find this, or were you wanting me to do something? Is Rocket still around? He is. He's here all the way through Saturday night. He leaves on Sunday. Yeah, he ended up getting sick, which was obviously which was obviously inauspicious timing. But we still managed to go out and do stuff a couple days, and then yesterday was when he was like most under the weather, and then he's like still coughing a bit, but he's feeling better today. So hopefully we can, like, it's only Wednesday, right? So we still have quite a bit of time, which is nice. Thank you, Orar. Yeah, I appreciate the plate suggestion. It's good. It helps clean up the back of it a lot. And honestly, I'm probably not even going to fiddle with it here, right? It's just adding more because you're never going to see it. It's literally in the wall. So it's just adding more objects to the map that aren't really going to do anything. And I feel like this needs... There's not a ton of room to design around this that's not just going to be in the way of the main fountain or pool. I had not decided. We might just keep it as pool. One of the things that I talked about with Aurora right near the end, right, God of Peace and all that, is just have it be like a reflecting pool, kind of like what's at the whatever that is, Lincoln Memorial, Washington Monument. I forget. Right. One thing at a time now. Angels. Go here, go here. Also, whoops. For those of you who had not heard about this yet, we have a way, thanks to the support of our amazing community, for anybody who wants to help with the the Tailspire builds. So if you want to help us continue to build and expand upon the town of Capstone here, you don't even have to pay to buy the game anymore. We have a free... It's kind of hard to explain. The short version is there's a way for you to play for free. So if you ever want to join us for build nights, you would be more than welcome. Just make sure you have the @tabletop role-playing interest marked in Discord. And then our plan is to do that about twice a month, probably mostly on Thursday nights, but maybe occasionally on Mondays or Wednesdays. Is that the pool where Ribato made his promise? Yes. Yes, it is. Good memory. Random thought, have you seen... Sorry, I missed that message. Have you seen the monster info? Yes, I have. It's on my to-do list. Probably tomorrow, actually. It was originally going to be today. I do that kind of thing while I'm on duty for GTA during the day when it's like fairly slow. But I didn't play today because I've been having, well, not just me, but lots of us have been having tech issues with our GTA server recently. What do we think about stairs all the way around or not? I do kind of like the way that it looks finished, but I also kind of like the idea of maybe putting a little plant at each corner or something. I have mixed feelings. One so we can compare. Yeah, that's fair. Well, there's a number of different things that it could be, right? We could go with like more of a bush, or oh my god, what am I? There we go. Yeah, get that out of my way. Or more like a flower or plant. Let's see, what options do we have? I think tree would be too big, although palm tree would be kind of funny. Not mushrooms. That looks like it's unkempt. Rocks wouldn't really make sense. Thematically, it would be kind of cool potentially to do some sort of like crystal or whatever, but we've never really talked about that in iconography when talking about the church. Cacti don't really make sense. What's this? Oh, that's pretty. I don't think we have one of those out here yet. Like something like that. They could also be, we could make them potted plants. I think there are like pots. Slightly bigger, like ferny kind of thing. Also, like just the pile of leaves is nice. Although they're freaking giant. What the heck? They should be like half that size. What's this? Oh, pine cones. Oh, that's fun. I don't remember seeing that before. Might just use some of those because I like that. Like those are cool for detailing. Not around the fountain, just in general here. What else do we have? Oh, that's right, like water lilies. We'd also kind of toyed with putting something like that in there, but I sort of like, I think either it needs to be like a fountain with a thing in the middle, or it needs to be just the reflecting pool. I don't think I want anything in it. Mushrooms, again, I don't think that really fits. Like corals and stuff. Those are cool. In fact, it looks like they've added some more to that since the last time I looked at this. But probably not for here. Oh yeah, there's way more outdoor props. Oh, that's a starfish. That's just like it's like straight up like shrubs. I feel like that's a little low poly and definitely not for here. Maybe Maybe something like that along there. I'll leave it out to remind me. Ooh, the ivy is kind of nice. Yeah, we can definitely do some detailing here either way. Yeah, I think it would be either something like this leafy thing or that. But I think I have my answer anyway. I don't think I like it. As much as I generally wanted to make this look a little bit more like a garden than it currently does, I don't think that looks right. I think I prefer having the stairs all the way around it. Yeah, the completeness is just better. So then the other thing that we slash Orar had done was made a bit of a surround. I think she was using these, yeah. It turns out these blocks sit just slightly higher than the dirt. So we had messed with doing just the corners, which I think if we were going to put like a lamp or something on them, I like that. But I think if we're not lamping, I don't like it quite as much. Then we could do something like this. Like surround it. I don't think I like that. That makes it look very monolithic. There's also, what is the other block that we were using? It's kind of an interesting idea. Do like pillars and have it be covered. Hmm. We have a way to make like a Parthenon-y kind of roof thing. I don't think we really do we? No. That's unfortunate. I think that could potentially look really cool. All right. What about this block? There it is. What do we think about this instead of that other one? Oh dear. The way that that one clips through is not nearly... Well, hold on. What if I turn it? Oh god. That way? Eh. Eh. Nah. That's not the way. So, either corners or no corners? It looks a little bit more, you know, the more green there is, right? The more kind of like gardeny it looks if we don't. I think I like it the best without. It doesn't look quite as like big, for lack of a better word. Okay. This. Honestly, you're barely even gonna see him. Throw like a couple leaves on the ground there, just for a little extra flavor. And then I know these are deciduous, not coniferous, but don't have to follow those same rules. We don't want to. This is our own made-up world. There's literally magic. Yeah, just that extra little bit of detailing. I think is kind of nice. I don't think there's anything in particular that I want with these other than maybe what do we think about right here? Almost kind of like it's like a little viney. Not bad. Down a little more. I think that's fine. I do like this one with the little pink flower. Oh, we had used that. It was over here. Oh dear. Oh, the snapping. Stop it. Stop. Stop. How's the height on that? Is it like flying? A little bit. Is it like corny to have one thing in between each one of them? I think it's fine. I think it helps break it up a little bit. And I didn't necessarily want to like fully line it. How are we doing on time? Coming up against the end of it. So, how does that look for the scene at which we resume next session? I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. As before, I'm a little bummed that we didn't get it done ahead of time, but yeah, tis what it is. Oh yeah, wait, where's that extra? I totally stuck one of those shrubs somewhere. Yeah, there it is. We almost left that on accident. Right in the middle of the path. I was thinking this could maybe go out here to help kind of. We do, yeah, a couple of them. A little unfortunate the size of it. How bad is it if we overlap it? It's not terrible. I think it's fine actually. Rotate. Something like that. Get out of build mode. And or there could be like a tree here, right? Like on the outside. There's no room inside because of the path, but that would help kind of socket the whole thing in a little bit more and look, like a little bit more of a private garden. I might like that. Not going to take that much longer to do. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I guess we'll just have to see if I can mass select them. If not, we'll have to go back in place. See how easy it is to do stuff like that in 3D view. There. I sort of like the idea of putting those shrubs over here too. Kind of generally greening up the area a little bit more. The whole point of the church redesign, oh, that's perfect, is that we didn't want it to look too monolithic. I still kind of think I want to experiment with tree here really fast though. And then we'll call it on the church stuff. Oops, too high. I knew as soon as I clicked it. Put that one down there. Get rid of that. Go back over to the bush. Kind of generally add a little bit more life to all this. A little bit more dimension. I like this. I think I might, just so they're not the exact same tree, we might grab this and shove it down into the ground just a little bit. Also, Rocket hath abandoned me. Bad. Trying to get the tree and only the tree. See if I succeeded. Cut. Ah, I think we did. Oh. So is this? Yeah, that's normal height. I don't want to sink it like a ton, but I'm thinking maybe like maybe this far. And then maybe rotate it just a little. That way it doesn't look quite so samey. I was going to actually shrink the one in the back, but they'd need to be able to walk underneath it. So there we go. I think that helped break it up just a little bit. Didn't look quite so copy-paste. Excellent. How we doing? Supposed to be break time. Only just barely though. Just hitting 30 minutes. The time, because the timer up here had started ever so slightly before we did. I said I didn't want this to take more than the first half, so let's look real fast at a tree solution for here. What is this? Oh, that's kind of cool. Not for here, but dead tree stuff. That's a really cool. You could build that out, you know, and like place shrubbery around it to make that look like a grown-in tree. I think that's a little too big for here. How big is? Oh my gosh. Also probably a little too big. That's better. That's better. That's more like what I was thinking. Oh, but they don't stack on top of each other. Do we have? Aha, we do. It's a Build-A-Tree kit. But we probably don't want it any higher than that. How bad would that be? What's the bottom of this look like? What if we did do a coniferous, like a earth coniferous tree? I guess the only way to kind of look up its skirt, so to speak, here is going to be to go to photo mode, free camera. Turn off depth of field. Oh, that has a significantly thicker trunk, doesn't it? Okay. That's potentially okay. Yeah. No, I appreciate you looking out. I had just started with the more slender one, because in general I was trying to keep it small. But then as soon as I grabbed the conifer, I was like, oh, you know, that would kind of help break things up a little more. Ah, probably one more. It, it might be a little bigger than I wanted. But you can see what it looks like. It's kind of tough. I feel like the foliage is not very big for how thick the trunk is, you know? Like, I feel like the foliage needs to be like 25% bigger. Which I could custom build out because really you're almost never going to actually have a camera view where you could see the underside of that. Okay, in general, I guess, what do we think of having a tree out here? I think it does kind of, I think I like it. It doesn't cover up a window. It kind of closes in the whole scenery a little bit more. I might even do the same thing over here, to be honest with you. Makes it feel like a little bit more private. You like it too? Okay. So I think we just need to figure out how to get, for one, I think it needs to come out a little further. Oh God. The trees need some attachment points, like real badly. I don't think it's terrible, but I want to see if we can just kind of overlap these and make it look a little bit bigger, like a little bit more full. Oh my lord. I know on Tales Tavern also there's a lot of people who've done custom trees and stuff. And in general that probably would be good for us. So what if we just kind of make like an array around this? Oh no, I right clicked on accident. Add it like exactly the height and distribution and whatnot that I wanted. Okay. Yeah, just trying to add a little more to it. So we'll go with the cardinal directions first. I don't want it to be huge. I want it to be bigger. And then we'll fill in the diagonals. You know, I appreciate the intent, but I also feel like that's done as bait, which I appreciate a lot less. But I hope you have a good rest of your day. Then we do that. Oh, I think that actually turned out pretty good, right? Hey, and thank you so much for the subscription. Other person that's hopefully not baiting. It's a little samey. If I really wanted to fiddle with it, I should probably go in and take them and rotate them and whatever. But I feel like that turned out pretty good. No, you're good. I was gonna do it myself, Lily. Thank you. I just feel like the chances of somebody like it's it's a little off our vibe as far as discussion topics during stream anyway. And also I feel like the chances of somebody that we've never spoken to before coming in and saying that unprovoked and not doing so as bait are about 0. True. Although I feel like that person probably does not know that. Right? If it's even a person, if it's not just a straight up bot. You guys going to bed? That's pretty early for y'all. I hope you're feeling okay, Candy. Thank you for coming and hanging out, though. Sleep well. Yeah, I'm happy with how that turned out. I'm not going to fiddle with it anymore. I could. It probably would look 5% better if I did, but I also don't think that we really gain that much. So then the last thing that I want to see is what if we put one here? It might be a little too much. Oh my word, what is this? Stop. Why? Why? Oh. Oh dear. Oh, gotcha. Well, yeah, rest up, y'all. Thank you so much for making the effort to come by. It's great to see you. Nathaniel, perfect. Absolutely nothing could be better. Warboy says that he knows what the age of that Yeah, thank you. Tons of new people coming by today. Thank you so much for being here. Ornato, I don't know how I ended up here, but at the same time, I needed something to distract me to force me to work on your DM stuff. Thanks, buddy. Hey, no problem. That's the whole point of these streams. I do this most Wednesdays, and we get on. We put a half an hour on the clock. We take a quick stretch break, and then we put another half an hour on the clock, and then we get out of here. So the purpose of the power hour is to focus in on some stuff that we've been putting off. So good luck with your project. Thanks for hanging out. Obviously, if you want to chat, you're welcome to, but hopefully you get your work done. Also, it's break time. Yes, it is. Although I feel kind of bad taking off right as some new people tuned in. And honestly, I'm also not feeling super like I need a break today. I might just skip on that. DM for Friends Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. That's a significant DMing commitment. Good on you. Heck yeah. For myself and our community, we run 2 campaigns in the Kingdom of Rin, which is a custom campaign setting. And one of those is once a month on Mondays. The other is about twice a month on Saturdays. In fact, we have session this upcoming Saturday. We live stream those on Twitch, and then we upload those videos to YouTube. And we also may oh shoot, I didn't get that lined up either. And we also have some projects in the works to get some original content up here on YouTube as well. I don't want to distract you too much from your work, but if you want to tell me a little bit about your campaign, I'd love to hear about it. But also, if you want to get your work done, that's fine. I have like no way while doing this to judge the height. It'd be very guess and checky. Although that looks like I got it pretty dang close. Hello, Stardust. Good to see you. The life of me cannot get those to line up, though. I need to place a light source here. Everybody coming by to say hi today. Hello, hello. How you doing, Lee? Grab this. Oh, God, that does not put out very much light, does it? I just need enough to see. Pixie said hi. Absolutely. She won't be home from work for a couple hours, but I will let her know for sure. Thank you. Look mode here. How close are we? That's floating a little bit, but it's not awful. Oh, and I did get the rest of that lined up pretty well. Ever so slightly off. Hello, Christopher. Holy cow, YouTube really pushing the stream and the algorithm today. This is Tailspire. It is a platform agnostic virtual tabletop. So you can play any game in it that you wanted. Personally, we played D&D 3.5, but it would work for Call of Cthulhu, Daggers in the Dark, really anything that you wanted. Candela Obscura, Cyberpunk. This is the town of Capstone, which is in a rough draft format, if you will. But we just finished a huge battle session out here in front. Oh, apparently there's a few things I haven't removed yet. But there were over 1,000 orcs that came and attacked the city, and with the help of our player characters, the defending militia, just ever so barely managed to defend the town. It was very, very close. And so now we're working on kind of upgrading the town to version 2 by doing a lot more detailing and, filling in the roads and getting some more buildings installed and just kind of generally filling it up a bit more. Does Looney ever pass by the work streams? Not frequently, but occasionally, yes. 3.5 forever. Let's go. I've also played and enjoyed 5th edition. In fact, I am currently a player in a 5th edition campaign called the Merkmire that I'm enjoying. So I'm definitely not one to clown on other people's preferences. I think 5th edition is just fine. But personally, I prefer the kind of slightly more realistic vibe, kind of a little bit more Lord of the Rings vibe to the way that 3.5 handles fantasy. My tree's on fire. Yes, thank you. It was a light source, so we could actually see when we were looking up at the bottom of the tree. I'm trying to avoid grabbing anything other than the tree here. I just want to. That tree is definitely not 3.5. You're right. It's heresy. Just force them to overlap a little bit more. Okay. Just do that one more time, and then it'll be good enough that we'll leave it alone. And I might move the whole thing over to the side a teeny bit. We'll see. A little closer to the wall. No, I guess we already did that, right? I don't want it to look too samey. I don't want it to look too samey. So in the meantime, for those listening in, and since the part that I'm doing right now is fairly mindless, the Kingdom of Rin is a custom campaign setting that I originally made for the table game that I ran for about 6 years. It ran from around 2012 through about 2018. We played for an estimated, I forget exactly what the math worked out to, but we think it was over 1,000 hours at the table. And then from 2018 through 2023, there was no play that happened in our setting. And then in 2023, we launched our on-stream campaign that we're currently designing stuff for here. It is a primarily low level, low power, low magic setting. Oh shoot. Like I said, really kind of trying to lean into those Lord of the Rings vibes. We want the struggle to be real. We want overcoming that struggle to be a challenge, but also to feel good. And I also am a firm believer that the world is the world. So I design the things that are going on, that are happening in the world, and then our players interact with that. And if things go well, then the players, impact the world positively. And if things aren't going well, then there might be negative impacts. So for us, and what that means here is the defense of the town of Capstone that I was talking about earlier when all the orcs were out front there. If they had lost, the town would have been, maybe destroyed, maybe occupied, maybe razed, maybe partially burned, like whatever. But like our world would have changed. I like giving the players that impact on the world, especially since we're playing in a little lower level, a little lower power little lower power level game where you're not going to get quite that like same epic feel of slinging fireballs and killing gods and whatever like you might in some other D&D campaigns. So we kind of strive to provide that feeling of epic impact through like narrative change in the world. Thank you so much for subscribing, Ornato. I'm really glad everybody's here today. I hope you all are having a good day. I'm going to go ahead and start the other 30-minute timer. I think we're just going to work through it today. And then I think that's done. I think the courtyard is done. I think I do like having the other tree there as well. Like I said, it kind of helps. It kind of helps block it in a little bit more, and I wanted it to feel like it was kind of semi-private. The only thing that I'm debating about is potentially, like having one more smaller tree or like shrub right here. But it does kind of block in the fountain in an awkward way if we do that. That's why we didn't do it before. So I think we'll leave it. We'll stop fiddling with it. So yeah, if you'd like to see, kind of how things have progressed and how our party is saving Rin, or at least hopefully trying to. Of course, we've got all of our sessions up here on YouTube. They are in a playlist, so it's easy to follow. We have 2 campaigns actually that operate in the Kingdom of Rin. That are both in the same timeline and whose decisions and actions and activities may, impact each other. So I'm also very excited for that. Hey, Sai. How did that crazy short go? It ended up at 11,000 something views. It's really cool. Sorry, obviously I'm trying to work and promo at the same time. Also, for people that like our vibe, if you have any interest, we run an extra kind of add-on that we call the Townsfolk, where anybody that wants to contribute to our world can join our Discord and get together with one of our game masters. Generally, it'll be Spio from the Mortal Woes, to create a business that will operate in the Kingdom of Rin. And once per month, you get to make a roll to determine whether your business was profitable or not, and then how you want to spend your money, and do a little bit of light role playing. And then that business and that shopkeeper will be in the world. And our player character parties might potentially come and shop at their shops and interact with them. So a pretty fun way to give people a chance to kind of leave their own mark on the world, even if they can't necessarily get into one of our campaign slots. There we go. Had to clean up all the example stuff that we had thrown out there. Right, Kale. Nah, we decided to skip it. YouTube seems to be algorithmically supporting the stream today, and there's some new folks here that I didn't want to ditch on. And honestly, I feel like I've been pretty focused today. Maybe slightly slower than I'd intended, but overall I'm on task. So we had Rosalind stepping out of that last fountain is where we left off. We had Alendite, I guess technically would be over here somewhere, right? I'll need to double check which fountain it was that he went and got in, but he'd be over here somewhere. And then Bahir and Bridget had just stepped out of the church. So yeah, are probably somewhere around here, with Bahir kind of in tow. Yeah, for sure. I just need to double check which one that was. Find the session notes. So we went from, won't give any context to this, but from the Archangel of Justice to the Archangel of Truth to the Archangel of Ambition, then Duty, then Courage, then Passion. That was the order. Duty, you think? Okay, that's what I was thinking. Nanel. So the Kingdom of Rin is a largely human-populated kingdom, although there are other goodly races that live there, and they are largely monotheistic. However, within that religion, the Church of Bana, the Peacebringer, there are 6 archangels that represent various aspects of his goodness. And we just left off at the end of last session with a ritual being performed in the fountains of the said archangels. So if you were at Nanel, then that was the fourth one, and we were going clockwise. So we would have left off somewhere around here. I do also, and definitely not today, but in general, want to find another mini for Roslyn. Is my focal length still way off? Oh, no, that's right. That's because we're actually not at 0. The town is raised up. There we go. Closer. That way we could build down if we wanted to. Like, this mini's fine as a placeholder, but in general, Roslyn, I don't have a good way to show that here, do I? I could just add it real quickly. Just one sec. This is Roslyn at her trial, so to speak.
Ninja Nola is the first chatter and has been first 9 times.
Hi, Enola, using our Twitch chat to trigger the lights. Is Tailspire super CPU intensive? So a map like this, that's, this large scale, and especially the mountain over there, definitely is, a bit on the more hardware intensive side. But for a normal map that's probably not going to have this many objects, I haven't really had anybody say that they've had trouble running it on any of their computers. Because a lot of times a Tailspire map, we tend to be pretty big scale, but a lot of times a Tailspire map is going to be something more like, maybe like this. The board that we used at one point. Actually, even this one's fairly big, but comparatively speaking, this is fairly small, right? So, a map like this is still big enough to be like pretty cool and give room to maneuver around on and whatnot, but there's so many fewer objects here that yeah, it's not too bad. Hi, and Night Owl, thanks for swinging by the live stream. Good to see you. So on a board like this, hold on, I'll open my task manager. And I know this is obviously going to be somewhat dependent on what kind of CPU you have, right? So I'm running with a Ryzen 7 7700X. And this board right here is using 12% of my CPU. Which has quite a few objects on it, right? It's not nearly as big as our town map, but... And then if we go to something smaller, like go to the tavern, something like this, it drops. Actually, really doesn't get affected that much. It dropped down to about 10% CPU use. Just a little thing here. Also, some other notes about Tailspire. It has some pretty cool interactivity. So, like, a player can request to, like, open and close the doors, and they'll actually animate. And you can do things like knock down the minis. Give them flying if they have flying, and make them invisible if they're hiding. There are a handful of emotes as well. So there's, like, surprised, wiggle, twirl. And then also, if you're acting as a mini, then you can like request an attack, and then then you'd like roll your dice or whatever. And then if the DM like says like, yeah, your attack hits, then like there's little attack animations, like there's a little magic missile, or there's like a melee attack. You may have to give Tailspire a second chance. You played it when it first dropped, and it was rough. So I don't know when, exactly when it first came out, but we've been using it for about a year and a half, and I found it to be pretty pleasant to play with. They update it lots. There are regular content updates where they're bug fixing and adding new features and adding more and more props and building blocks, and I quite like it. They also added pretty recently. They added like with the measurement stuff, right? If you're like, oh, I'm going to cast Fireball, and Fireball's whatever, a 10-foot radius. That's not right, but whatever. It's a 10-foot radius. Well, what gets annoying, right, is like, well, what if I need to measure something else? Like, oh, well, I need to get in range to cast Fireball or whatever. You can now take your measurements and lock it onto the map, and then you could make another measurement. Like, oh, how far away am I? Oh, cool, I'm 70 feet. So that kind of thing is real, like, was a great quality of life upgrade as well. Just kind of as a general like nod to how good they've been about adding features. They also added seats. So I'll go and show you this in a minute. But essentially, a seat is a thing where instead of people having to buy full copies of the game, you can buy seats. And seats are infinitely reusable versions of the game that somebody can play in for free, which is, I think, super, super cool. I'm curious, actually, now that I have the hardware monitor up, like if I go to Capstone, how much more does this use my CPU? We jumped from 10 to 12% on the smaller boards to 18%, which is obviously an increase, but actually not crazy considering how much stuff is here. 19, 20, as I get a little bit more of the town in scope. I'm actually surprised at how good that is. It's running my GPU on a bigger map like this at about 42%. What if I look at the mountain? The mountain is the tough part. Yeah, if we look over at the mountain, it's more like 60%. But the mountain is obviously an extreme. I mean, look at how many polygons and how many objects and whatnot make up the mountain. So yeah, as long as you don't do stuff like that. Thank you. I wish that I personally could claim creatorship there, but that was made by one of our community members. So we do community builds, which, if that sounds fun to you, another plug for the Discord, I guess. But a couple times a month we get together and work on build projects for the campaign, and that was made by CallieHawk93. I think he did a fantastic job. It looks super cool. It's obviously still not quite fully to scale because it's like 3-4 times taller than the buildings, and it's actually like a mountain. But we had to work within context. And I think the look of it is super cool. And the look of, hold on, let me get a little ways away. The look of the mountain kind of like looming over the town with the harbor right there. I think, despite the fact that it's not fully 1-to-1 scale, I think it looks amazing. I think he did a fantastic job making that. Also fully detailed are the military camps. So personally, I made all of these buildings. We've got training grounds. We've got 2 different kinds of stables. There's an outdoor stable, and then over here, hold on, didn't rotate far enough. And then over here, there's an indoor stable as well. Then there's the barracks, which there's a 1-story and a 2-story version of the barracks. This is the 1-story. All their, oh, sorry, this is the 2-story. With all their boots and everything lined up. And then if you go up above, got like cleaning supplies, and got a lot of fun making these. Did we ever finish? Oh yeah, I think I did actually make the buildings. Yeah, the like offices are detailed out a little bit too. Fiddling around with Tailspire is a lot of fun. We've really enjoyed it. There's also Tails Tavern. And well, this isn't even. I should get Tailspire to sponsor me, honestly, but this isn't even sponsored. This is, I just legitimately enjoy it. But there's also Tails Tavern, which is a repository where people can share their builds. So the vast majority of this we made all on our own, but there are some buildings here, especially the bigger ones that we got from Tails Tavern. So everything like the military base, the church, the tower, the windmill, like all of that stuff we all made. The rest of this is an interspersement. Some of it we made, some of it's from Tails Tavern. And it's a great way to supplement your builds, especially if you've got a deadline that you need to meet for a session or whatever. Scale only matters if you need it to matter. Yeah, exactly. I did notice something over here earlier, though, that could be problematic, though, which is the height of the ground that everything else is being built on, and the height of the camp is not quite the same. I suspect that we're going to run into that kind of thing periodically. It's not the end of the world, but obviously, ideally, we'll try and fix that. We should ask them about sponsorship. It would be pretty cool. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? Maybe we will. Oh, they both got placed that way. Woof. Well, not dealing with that today. All right, how we do? We got 12 to maybe 20-ish minutes left on our timer. Take the shot, and if you get it, you'd buy it through us. That seat thing is reasonable. Oh, thank you so much. So it's worth pointing out the seats are an extra cost. Here, I'll show you real quick. But I still think it's totally worth it. So what we did, I forget the numbers exactly, but like a full version of the game is $25 or $30, and then a seat is, I think, they're half. Or maybe slightly more. So like if a full version is $25, then a seat is 15 or something like that. So it's still a really good deal. But there's also a 4-pack. So you can get 4 seats for, I think, 50. So 4 seats for almost the price of 3. And buying 4 full copies of the game would be 100. Not to mention, so the interface for it is really cool. So we have 4 seats that we bought as a community. And then we can just assign those around. So like even if you were a player in multiple campaigns, the only limit is they can't be used in multiple campaigns at the exact same moment. But like, I think that's more of a technological limitation than anything else. And obviously, you're probably not going to be playing in 2 campaigns at literally the same time anyway. You might have them running concurrently, but you're not going to be like playing in one board and playing in another board at the same time. So then, yeah, you can just take your seats with you wherever you want. So like if we were doing doubloon dungeons, then boom, now 4 people that haven't paid for the game can play in our doubloon dungeon, which I'll explain in a second. And then like, oh, it's Kingdom of Rin time. We've got some guest stars who haven't bought the game. Bam, now there's 4 seats available there. And then all they have to do is go and download the free version. Super cool. I love that they did that. It's very user friendly, or very consumer friendly. And thank you so much for the offer, Ornato. That's very nice of you. To you and anybody else who might potentially be actually interested, the Discord link's in the chat, or it should be. Did I spell it wrong? Nope, there it goes. Your moment spot just taking its time. It's just discord.gg/HereThereBeMonsters. If you want to make townsfolk to run businesses in our world, or if you want to, join us for build nights, or just in general be a part of the community, it's a great spot to do it. With that, I'm going to pop back over here. We're going to do a couple other things. The main thing that we need to do is we're going to be building a fort soon. And I'll stay spoiler free in case anybody does want to catch up, which we would super appreciate any support on our session videos. I won't give any other context for whether it's NPCs or PCs or whatever, but there's a fort that needs to be built, and we need to come up with a budget for that fort. So we have the Stronghold Builder's Guidebook here, which is a 3.0 book. Man, I really wanted to spoil the super secret surprise video that's coming soon, when especially when like 3 new people all came in and said hi at the same time. But yes, hopefully next week, or maybe the first week. So either the last week of October or the first week of November, we have a really, really cool like original D&D video coming out on the YouTube that I'm very excited about. Roll for it? Well, yeah, I probably will do some of that. But essentially what we need to balance is the economy of the area and how much they potentially could actually afford. And then kind of, balance that in a little bit with like what features that fort is likely to have and how much those cost. 7. That is all. No context. No unit of measurement. They're just 7. There are 7 of them. I like it. Hey, Reading Squirrel. Great to see you. I think what I'm going to do... let's write this down. Because I have to pick a starting spot, right? Is we have to either start with the how much the town could afford, or start with the how much or what features will probably want to be built here. And I think in general, it actually probably makes the most sense to go with the how much could the town afford. But my brain, with the book in front of me here, leaning a little bit more towards what features might we want. So I'm going to open a document here, and we'll start by writing down the costs of all of those things. Catch the tail end of the stream again. I'm sorry. I really do appreciate you putting in the effort to come by, though. And we'll be a little bit over that because I want to get this thing done. So we'll be here for probably 10, maybe 15 more minutes. But we are going to cut it off at or before the 90-minute mark, because that's our that's the goal for these streams. I'm torn. I want something to hold this book open a little bit more, but also the only place I can set it down. I guess if I do this, it sort of works. No, it's too far away. Fine. so I expect and we try and keep these spoiler free for folks that are potentially watching episodes but not totally caught up. So I'm not going to say what they are, but we've got that feature, that feature. They probably wouldn't want that one. No, you're good, Reading Squirrel. We're in the Stronghold Builders Guidebook and looking at kind of the possible stronghold components and guesstimating which ones might potentially want to be built at the fortification in question. I was just trying to find a place like physically to put the book. To where I could scroll through it, to where I could scan through it, but then also write things as I found them. Okay, so that feature they'll almost definitely want. So many subscriptions today. Thank you so much, and welcome in, Nicholas. Nicolas Romero. Appreciate you. I'm glad you're having a good time here. I think, is it windy outside? It sounds. I hear something that sounds kind of windy. They'll almost definitely want that. I'm really curious. This is the most generic thing ever, so it's not a spoiler. One of the stronghold components is just common area. What does that even mean? What makes up a common area? This plain room features bare floors with a few benches and walls with uninspiring artwork. This is for the basic version. Or tapestries. It might serve as a waiting room, a general meeting area, or an all-purpose room. Probably not what would be considered critical infrastructure. I mean, it might. The people building the fort might potentially choose to do it because they can spend their money however they want. Our chicken's so dumb. Well, but there's a barracks that's separate from that, you know? In fact, the barracks is cheaper than the common area. That's one of those things that I might adjust a little bit. You just had to take plastic from one's beak twice. That was like Loki. Okay. So I think the way I'm going to do this is because I was worried if the budget was like insane that it could potentially get spent on silly things also, but we might have some required spending, right? Like basic features that must be there. I think that makes sense. Mariano. Oh, interesting that the alert didn't give your full name. But thank you so much for being here, Mariano, and you're welcome. You're working just a DM, working right. Just a DM, but not working on a specific game right now. Gotcha. Well, I'd love to hear about your project, but if you want to stay focused, no worries. Good luck on your work, and thank you so much for being here. I'm glad to have you with us. We do this most Wednesdays. I can't say every because I'd say we probably take about one per month off, but about 3 Wednesdays every month we do this working stream where we work for 60 to 90 minutes together on projects. You gotta go. You're gonna be DMing. Hey, good luck with your session. Good luck. You're looking forward to being here next Wednesday. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to getting to know you better. I hope your session goes fantastically well. Great to meet you, Ornato. Oh shoot, I lost my saved page here. Okay, that would definitely be a required component. That would not. That would not. Oh, this is interesting. There's a dining hall room. Oh, I thought the dining hall required a kitchen. Or sorry, I thought the dining hall came with a kitchen. It does not. It requires a kitchen. Fair enough. Rob adds a bookshelf at a campfire. I love that labyrinth is one of the options. I need to go back and see if any of these other features require. Oh, never mind. I guess I could just be looking there. No, no. 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 Make sure that there isn't any other prerequisite employees. Oh, that's interesting. It could just be a mistake. Yeah, the chart here, that's problematic. The chart says that the basic kitchen has no prerequisite, but when you go to the actual basic kitchen section, it says the prerequisite is 1 cook, which means that the chart may be wrong on other things. Crap. That one, no. That one, no. That one, no. That one, no. Almost done. I just want it easier to go back and double check now than to have to double check all of them. That one, no. Oh, shoot. And something else that I need to be writing down also is how much size these take. Because that's kind of part of the budget also, you know? How big is this thing? We need like a size budget. That's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1 so far. 1, 2, 1, 1. 1, 1, and 1. Okay, so there's only actually one thing that we've chosen so far that requires 2 stronghold spaces. Okay. I've never done this before, so we're kind of learning as we go here. I don't think that the owner or owners of this fort are going to want a labyrinth. I don't think that's where they're going to spend their money. Hilarious as that is. Right. Are we doing? Okay. We just hit 90 minutes. I'm pretty close to done with this though. So despite our extra tour through Tailspire there, which was fun, I'm glad we did it. I'm still gonna be pretty close to time. Yes. Yes, exactly, Amras. I'm about 3/4 of the way through. Okay. That and that. I think another thing that might be fun too is our players may potentially get involved in this as well, and if they do, they may also um, try and do some bartering for a bigger budget or whatever. All right. Well, that's cool. You can have your own tavern. I mean, it makes sense, but could be a good place to hide the goods. Oh, I see what you're thinking. It's pretty cool. I had not thought of that as being like an actual stronghold feature, but I do like it. making myself a note, and then I realized that that note applied to almost all of the stronghold sections. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that note there, which is that the purchase of a stronghold section does not include supplies to fill that section. So like buying a kitchen does not, the price does not include the food going into it, etc. Throne room, torture chamber, trophy hall. Now he's listening. It was the torture chamber that got your attention, right? Conveniently goblin shaped. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I know I said that 10 minutes ago, but the second or the kind of the last quarter here is where a lot of the things that I needed to look at were apparently. And also, I guess we did have to double back and double check some things. Okay, and then what is a workplace? How are we defining that? Workplace. For example, you might build a carpenter's workshop, a painter's studio, or a brewer's distillery. Oop. Okay, so if we were able to, like, if the player, if the people building the fort, just were able to build all of the things that I just assumed that they might potentially want, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That would be 15 20 by 20 spaces. Which is a lot. But what would that actually come out to? I cannot visualize that sort of thing. Let's do this really fast. Because I think the size budget might actually end up being more of an issue than the money budget. How many did I just say? 15? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So what size is that actually? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's 30 by... No! Oh, I didn't do that at the right scale. Each of those has to be a 10-foot square instead of... normally they'd be 5-foot squares. That's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's 60 by 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 60 by 100. Like, that's big, but that's not insane. Okay, okay, so space actually might not be too bad. I don't see why not, Amrath. But this is also assuming that there's no walking paths or anything, right? These all these buildings and everything are just touching each other, so it would actually have to be a bit bigger than this. So realistically, given what we currently have written out, it would probably be like 80 by 140. Or, you know, however you wanted to arrange those, because it might not be perfectly, you know, square, round, whatever. So, what is 80 by 140? 12,000 square feet. Or sorry, 11,000 square feet. That's what? Somewhere between a third, or somewhere between a quarter and a third of an acre. I think that's reasonable. And, you know, and this is just me guesstimating what things they might want, right? Yeah, exactly. So probably somewhere in the neighborhood of a third of an acre once all is said and done. Which is like, you know, it's got some size, but that's not like... I just wanted to make sure that we weren't, you know, like making a whole full-on freaking castle, whatever. You know, like, we're not building a whole nother town on accident, because that's not really what's supposed to be happening here. So one thing that I did notice, I guess I need to do some more looking around. There's nothing in here about the actual keep itself. So alchemy labs, armories, auditoriums, barbicans, barracks, baths, bedrooms, chapels, common areas, courtyards, dining halls. I guess the dining hall or something could just double as the keep. Docks, gatehouses, guard posts, kitchens, labyrinths, libraries, magical laboratories, prison cells, servants' quarters, shops, smithies, stables, storage, study/office, taverns, throne rooms, torture chambers, training areas, trophy halls, and workplaces. D&D uses feet, yes. Okay, so then we'll just need to require some sort of building to be up there to be like the keep. Or maybe maybe we require a guard post up there? Yeah, like extra good vision. I had skipped guard post in my way through, but that kind of makes sense. That could be one of the required features. To place this into a tower, use the building the up and down sidebar, or simply purchase a guard tower cluster as described below, and then that's not described below. Oh, here we go. Wow, it was way later. Okay. Well, I think I have a pretty good idea now, at least, as far as kind of money budget and space budget and whatnot. Now I just need to make a decision on the back end. But we're already over our deadline today, so I'm going to wind it down there, and I'll finish the rest of that up off stream. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out. Our next stream is Friday night. Rocket and I are going to be streaming together, kind of like how Pixie and I do, playing some Dota and some Deadlock, which is going to be a lot of fun. Then Saturday is D&D. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much to everybody new that came by today. Thank you to YouTube for promoting our stuff. That was really cool. If you are new here and you had a good time, if you're not already following or subscribing, if you will, don't forget to do that. And if you haven't given a thumbs up yet, please take a look at that as well. If you want to check out our session videos, I guess I'll link to that playlist here really quickly. Content, playlist, Kingdom of Rin, shareable link. There you go. We'll see you this weekend. And as always, take care and be excellent to each other.